Man, I missed that.
Wow.
Like,
It's
I
like
better cook it today.
all that sudsness.
to sudsness.
What's going on, guys?
What's happening, everyone?
I
Do
feel
we know
like I
what
haven't
we're
seen y'all
doing?
in 100 years.
It's
Well,
been a
I've
little
seen
bit.
one. I haven't seen the other.
But it still feels different when we're not on this together.
What is
Yeah.
that noise? Is that like
It's all those little snaps.
is
on
that
the
like
little,
water stuff going?
CPJ, what up?
it's applause. It's supposed to be applause.
Oh,
It
oh,
was
that's what it
raining.
was. I was like, what is that?
Hailing somewhere.
Oh my goodness.
I got this. So the soundboard came out with some really cool new sounds. I think I haven't heard them, but they look cool. And so I'm like, what do they sound like?
You could
Oh,
probably
that's good. That's for
you
whenever.
could probably
Have you
crank
watched
them
the
up a
movies,
little bit.
Andy?
Oh, really? So I normally put these on this when it's normal, but since I moved and all this stuff, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
How
it
much
feels
more,
it,
like-
it feels like a little low because that's why I wasn't sure what it was.
Tell me.
Like, that's
if-
good right there.
That's good
Right
right
there?
there.
Now I'm going to start
Yeah.
saying, Jerry.
Right, right. You are not the father.
Father.
Oh,
Dope.
what is this? Did
What-
You
what
are
is
the father.
that? You are the father.
Luke,
That was
Sorry,
good
man.
one.
Sorry.
search your feelings. You know it to be true.
Look at this one. Look at her getting
Look-
all. She's all like whatever that. What do you call that?
What?
Anyway, move on because I'm not even sure what I'm talking
I was,
about.
that's
anymore.
like he's a little out of practice
Acting.
because
Come on.
he's
Acting.
just going,
Look at her acting is what I
he's
was
like
thinking in my
going-
mind.
He's like
Who?
way going.
But
this
who
way
was
and-
acting? Was
Joe.
Oh, but you said her.
Yeah.
He's trying to like.
I'm more
insult me
inclusive of all. I
twice.
wasn't insulting you.
He was trying to insult me twice with
I
one
was not
sentence. That's what he was
insulting
trying
you.
to do.
Okay, I don't mean to call you out on the show, but did
Ooh,
you
but
use,
do it though.
but
Do
I'm
it.
going to. Did you use Grecian is for men? Because your hair looks your platinum is not so platinum at this moment.
You know what?
Yes.
Look.
No, I don't. I need to actually get some more. No, I haven't used anything yet. I think it's just the way my lighting may have changed a little bit in here or whatever. So,
I almost was like,
Oh,
I like the
okay.
way you comb your hair.
Uh,
oh, and then I shaved this down a little bit too because the grays were starting to pop up. And then what's really bad is when they start showing up in the eyebrows. Man, I can't. That ain't even cool.
Okay, speaking of
For real,
eyebrows,
though.
you remember that 5011 that Joe has here? What is it called? The
oh, that's
gambula?
right.
What is
The
it called?
111.
I don't remember what it's
11s?
called, but yeah.
They call
So
11s,
it
this
the
that's
11s.
what
this
they were.
lady was like, well, no, she actually gave the term out, and she was like, "Does anybody know someone that can treat my gambula or whatever it's called?" And I was like, "Oh, that's lady parts, but it's not. It's the 11s right here." She was trying to get
The lady
those.
parts.
I was like, "What?" Is
Hey,
she
so
trying to
you know what we
do?
should do since we've been gone so long? We should talk about one major thing that has happened since we've been on hiatus. That's
Oh
what we should
my.
do. So we got a little bit of time. So I'll go first.
He got
Because-
Grecian is for men. Oh my gosh, I ruined it. I ruined
So
it.
I recently had a birthday and I
What?
was really fighting my 25th birthday. And so I was really fighting it. And I was like, you know what? I need to buy something cool. And I bought something really cool. I bought an electric skateboard, all-terrain electric skateboard. And it is awesome. It's so
You
much
know,
fun. So
I saw
much
your
fun,
videos,
y'all.
dude. I was kind of jealous a little bit. I was like, oh, that actually looks a lot of
Oh.
fun.
So
It's
now that y'all are saying that, Joe, I have to call you out again. You you posted a wheel, and when I saw that wheel of your new toy, I was like, "Oh my gosh, that looks like a hover round wheel." He's
Oh,
turning
yeah.
25 and buying a hover round.
no, I
And
did
then-
not go. Yeah.
And then I saw that you didn't like it. I'm like, "Oh, I hurt his 25-year-old feelings."
Yeah, I've been like, instead of like just like giving out likes just to give out likes, I've just been ignoring people. So that's probably what I did for you on that comment. So
So rude.
yeah, I
Really?
know. Yeah, I know. So Sandy, anything big for you since we've been gone on hiatus?
Yes. Most of you guys know, my niece was really sick and she ended up passing in March. March the 7th. And I just want to say thank you for everybody that reached out. That meant the world to me. And those that continue to reach out and check on me and my family. And yeah, it's probably been tough. I'm glad that we were actually on hiatus when this happened, just because, it's taken a long time to I don't even know if you can say, because you'll never go back to normal, but it's taken a long time to be where I'm at. And then there's some days where it's just it's been hard. It's been really hard. But yeah, that's it's been a major life-changing event for us. So
right. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to bring it down, but I just know that, we'd always talked about it.
So, and I'm glad you mentioned that, because that's one of my thoughts I was going to kind of mention. I was like, people, it's hard because a lot of people don't know what to say when someone shares something like that, because it's intense, it's deep, and especially when it's with children. Like, I have a saying in my world where I tell people, I'm like, whenever a child goes before an adult, it's always hard and weird because it's not a natural thing.
Not natural.
It's kind of that. Wait a minute, aren't we as adults supposed to go before our children do? That's the natural order of things. That's what we hope for. And so sharing like that, like, I just want to encourage not just Sandy, but anyone out there, like, when you hear people telling that, it's okay to say whatever you're thinking, as long as it's not like something weird. I had someone tell me once, like, when my son passed, I had many people tell me, well, at least he can have more children. And it was like,
and I'm the worst. I'm going to tell you right now, like, you could probably tell me something and I wouldn't take it. Like, I would not be upset, because I'm not good with the words. Like, when it comes to, expressing myself, I'm like, I say some things that I'm like.
So do you find it's okay? Like, I think it's helpful when people when they say something to you, though, and not just let that awkward silence be there. I'm like, and one of the more encouraging things I've always felt is, like, when people share the impact that person, that loved one, had on them, even if it was just through your post. It's like, man, thank you for sharing that, because at least it helps me know I'm not experiencing a loss on my own, but that loss meant something to other people too. It really helps me. Even though it's sad.
Yeah, like, my thing is like, I want you, like, if you're a part of me, if you're a part of my life, a part of, who I am, like, just even throwing a little heart out, because like I said, you don't know what to tell anybody, but there were some people that really surprised me, and I'm not saying this just to, but and maybe they didn't know what to say, because, like I said, I don't know what to say, but just know that I'm like, I'll always put like a prayer hand, because I do. If I tell you that I'm praying for you, it's because I am praying for you. But yeah, it's just it's really hard. It's you just don't know. Like, I mean, I still to this day don't know what to tell my brother and my sister-in-law. Just hug them and just know that I love you. That's all I can say. So
anyway. Very true.
Amen. Is it okay if I go next?
Go right ahead.
Okay, just checking. I actually, if you've seen behind me, I just moved into my new home this Monday. He remodeled his
basement.
Right, yeah.
Please, you know me. Didn't do any of the sort. But we moved, and we are in our new house, and it has been super stressful, because Dr. Pineapple's wasn't feeling 100%, and so it was like, oh no,
falls on you.
100%. Well, and she was trying her hardest, but she was like, I just need to rest some more.
Okay,
like,
let's just stop there for a second.
I'm like, oh.
I think Dr. Pineapple's played that so good. She was because let me tell you, I'm just gonna tell you right now, when we get ready to move, I'm gonna be so sick for like 2 weeks. I got to be quarantining myself.
Oh man. Awesome. No, so we moved. We're good here. There's there's a lot of unpacking, but I'm not stressing out with the unpacking.
I need you to address. But did you bring the skunk family with you?
Get out of there. I don't know if the new people are watching. I'm gonna be quiet. I'm gonna leave that alone for what do we call that before? The after show, right?
The after show.
What we used to do in season 1?
Yep.
Yes. Okay, I'll save that for the after show.
Maybe.
Yes. We'll see.
So what are we doing on tonight?
I know, it's kind of weird, right? So guys,
you just picked a random day.
Or like, let's just choose this Wednesday through the dart, and this is where it landed, right?
Right.
But no, honestly, so even though we haven't been on, guys, I have been working with people to try to figure out if there's a way to still tell people stories. Y'all remember the TED Talk I did in February, right?
Working.
Yes, so busy. He's been so busy working. just him.
Yeah.
Just him.
Y'all want to
Me
finish?
too,
You
girl.
want to finish it? I'm just okay. So anyway, we've been working with people. I've been working with people to try to figure out
Don't
if anyone
include us
has
in
more
this.
stories to share, and we have amazing news to share tonight.
We do.
So yes, we have a new show that is joining the family of TSUDS Productions. So for those of you who are keeping score, we have the original, the Social and Distancing Show.
The
That's us.
OGs.
Yes.
Oh, geez.
After that, we spun off. One of us spun off and did our own little thing, and that's Sandy down there, who has Sandy Talk Sheet. And
Yes.
she loves talking about true crime, murders, and all that ghastly stuff.
All
that's
sorts
hard.
of sheet.
And then we, around the same time, we also started the Strange Connection Show, which was 3 strangers from different places and walks of life coming together to tell different stories from their side. So DJ Sound Effects, who was a beatboxer on our show, he's a part of that. And then Gabby, who's a photographer down in Texas and a model, she's a part of that. And then Carrie CPJ, who's always been in our comments almost since day one, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, day one.
She was in there too. And then we brought in Renee with the Ghost Wine and Spirits show, and that has been fun. If you guys haven't checked that out, it's fun listening to ghost stories on there, or all the paranormal stuff. And then now tonight, guys,
our resident septic doesn't agree.
You know, when you show up over there, Joe, you need to be, the resident skeptic.
Yeah, like
septic. I mean skeptic.
Did she call me septic?
No, it's the braces. The braces make me say things.
Yeah.
And so tonight, without further ado, we have 3 amazing people who've come together to join TSUDS Productions with a new show that they're going to be announcing tonight. And so for the first time ever, we would like to welcome Jhmeid from We Dat, Ricardo, and Tia from We Dat Show, our first sports show. So welcome to the show, everyone.
Welcome, Tia, Ricardo, Jhmeid.
Hi, thank you.
Welcome.
Greetings and salutation.
Love it.
That's a long clap.
That is a long clap. Long, unnecessary
It was
clap.
all for me, I feel.
Right.
You know what? I'm going to let the feng shui in here a little bit so we can make sure, because my OCD is kind of like, let's get this right. There we go.
Of course it is.
Sorry.
Of course it is.
Anyhow, so guys,
It's a very
welcome to the
Brady
show.
Bunch feel.
Yes,
Huh?
it does.
It's a very Brady Bunch feel.
It is.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
Especially when he switched it. It was
I have the power to do that. So, but everyone, so again, would like to introduce you to these 3 people. Now, I met Ricardo first. Ricardo and I have been friends for about a year almost.
Yep.
And then Ricardo introduced me to Jhmeid, and believe it or not, tonight's the first time I remember meeting Tia face to face ish.
Face to face ish.
Saving the best for last. That's all.
Yeah.
oh,
Right.
ah.
Jhmeid agrees, apparently.
Exactly. That's how I'm taking it.
So, guys, real quick, I mean, let's let you 3 talk for a little bit, and let's start off with the first question of the night. Is you're here to introduce a show. Why don't you tell us what is the name of that show, and what's it about?
Let's all jump at once. That's called Dead Air.
Tia, go for it.
The name of the show. Yeah, you know what, Tia? Why don't you go ahead?
She's like, great.
Okay. Well, the name of the show is We Dat, and the concept is for us to talk about sports, all basketball, baseball, football, but really from the perspective of fans of Atlanta. We are 2 of us are from Atlanta. It's not, another one is from the Northeast. But
He who will not be named, Ricardo, right?
No.
But it's not Ricardo. And
Oh, okay.
oh my gosh, and look at, we see all your, we see all your feelings, and so we have a love for sports in totality, but our heart, of course, belongs to everything Atlanta. And I don't, that's right, ATL. So we just want to make sure that the story that we don't feel gets told enough is not only told, but told properly. And I think that we can do it the best. So
Awesome.
For sports, though, like for sports, that's what, right?
Well,
The main
for
theme is sports.
Yes. Our main theme is sports and really focusing on football, basketball, and baseball, which, by the way, the Hawks just beat the Phoenix Suns.
Okay.
135-103. So,
my.
Nice. So no curling, no badminton, no
Rugby.
To be honest,
water polo.
Things are going to come up. Like, we're all big Atlanta United fans. The Five Stripes. So they had a championship a couple of years ago. So that's going to come up, and other sports from the Atlanta point of view. Like, if it's important to Atlanta, if it's the Olympics, if it's big tennis events, the Kentucky Derby, whatever. If it touches Atlanta, we're going to put our spin on it, because a lot of people go up to the Derby. Some people go up to Belmont. So if it's sports related, we're going to talk about it through Atlanta lens.
Okay.
So that's kind of cool, because that's the niche that you guys bring to the sports field, is specifically with that lens from an Atlanta perspective, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's cool. Have Sandy, Joe, have y'all been to Atlanta ever?
Oh yeah, I've been to the ATL.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was
several years ago.
Atlanta, and what is the other place?
And I drank a whole lot.
Savannah, Savannah?
No, it wasn't Savannah. It was it's near in the big city. I can't remember exactly.
We were also in Augusta.
The headquarters. Augusta. We've been there.
The master.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
So Ricardo, I know you were wanting to say something earlier, and we kind of really doing a great job. So
yeah, you did a great job. Jhmeid did a great job. The thing that's so unique about the Atlanta perspective is that a lot of times when we're watching ESPN and Fox, we don't feel like we do it tell our story. They kind of glance over the Atlanta team. They go, "This is what's going on with the LA team, and what's going on with the New York team." Well, there's a lot of Southern conglomerate that feels kind of left out. So we're kind of hoping that when we're talking, number one, we want to talk from Atlanta perspective, but number two, we also one thing cool and unique about our personalities is Jhmeid I've known for a long time, and Tia I know mostly through Jhmeid. When we talk and we're engaging and we even argue, fuss, and fight, I tell you, it was like, you know what? We should do a podcast, because we know what we're talking about. Tia, when you guys hear her talk the nuances of football, it's going to blow you away. She's really the star of the show. Jhmeid is really smart as a whip. He understands the game, and he's a professor of the group, and so he kind of knows how to break it down to where, in layman's terms. And me, I just kind of keep us from cat fighting too much.
You're the call of most of the fights, Ricardo. What are you talking about?
Like the one I'm sure we'll have in any minute.
So, if professor is synonymous with degenerate gambler, then that would be
nice.
I was waiting for the sarcasm and wit to kick in.
Yeah, exactly. So what about like college sports? You guys will like cover the college sports too?
Wait. Hold on. This is where we part ways. So these two are Georgia Bulldog fans.
Okay, I was about to ask.
I'm an Auburn fan, War Eagle.
Snap in between.
But that's where our paths diverge. Yeah.
but to be honest, that's a part of why we decided to make the show, because Atlanta is the number one fan base for Auburn grads. It's the number one metropolitan area for University of Alabama grads. There's a bunch of Florida grads. There's nothing for South Carolina grads and Clemson grads to do. So they live in Atlanta. So it's a huge melting pot of all the different college fans. So when we talk about college sports, we can't just talk about the Bulldogs or Georgia Tech. We have to talk about all the sports in the areas that kind of end up living in Atlanta. Nice. So yeah, we are very into college sports, and we're going to talk about it on a show, and what we think we're going to do is a lot of people just know their team, and so they always get blindsided, even in gambling, Tia, because they're just laser focused on their team. And so what we're going to do is help them see the perspective of the other teams, because we know all the other teams, because Tia, for some ungodly reason, cheers for that little technical school in the country part of Alabama. And so, the more you know about other teams, the better you can be at determining who's the favorite and the underdog. And if you have some confidence in that, maybe you could make a little Christmas money there.
Just
So,
little school.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
Nice.
So I know Ricardo, you a little what? Designer purse money?
A little designer purse money.
Just a titch. Just a titch.
I'm glad my wife's not watching right now. So Ricardo, you knew Jhmeid prior to me knowing Tia, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
All right. So tell us a little bit about how you two met, and let us know a little bit about yourselves.
Well, it's funny. I used to work at was that at Children's, Jhmeid? Yeah. I worked at Children's Eggleston Hospital, Children's Hospital of Atlanta, CHOA. And my boss, Jhmeid, was my boss's boss. And we just actually ended up striking a rapport early on, man. That was probably, I want to say almost 10 years ago. And he's been in my life ever since. He's a mentor, a brother, a good friend.
Aww.
He kind of helps me with so many little, so many things. I'm telling you, just I hit him up for perspective on a lot of things. Things with my son, things with, hey man, well, my wife did this. What should I, he's just a wealth of knowledge. We kind of have some similar backgrounds. He'll tell you a little bit about himself, but some of the things that he shared with me just really resonated, and we just kind of struck it off from there. And it's been a 10-year bond. And Tia, she fit right in. We were in a Facebook group, and this young lady was like just killing everyone with her sports knowledge. Who is this woman? I mean, not like, oh, this is cute, she knows something. Like, no,
Fresh.
you don't know what you're talking about, and she's really being nice about how to tell you that. And we just ate that up. We was, we got to know her. And Tia's Tia. What you see with her now is what you get. She's a pleasure to know, but you don't want to be on her bad side. She will let you know.
Tia's the one you don't want to go watching sports with unless you're ready to get into a fight of something, right?
yes.
Oh, no. Let me tell you a little bit of a story, because that's actually not exactly me. So I have a really good friend who, anybody who would know her, she's just she volunteers. She's just the person that you go to if you want her to be included on anything in regards to charity, volunteerism, and all of that. However, we went to the NFC Championship game in 2013, and we were playing San Francisco at home. And this very sweet, mild-mannered woman, I thought I was going to have to bail her out of jail, because unfortunately we got robbed. That tends to be kind of a theme in Atlanta. We got robbed from that game. We should have gone on to the Super Bowl and beat the Ravens in the Superdome, but that's another story. And of course, Niners fans were all around just celebrating, kind of drunk, kind of nasty. And oh my gosh, that one I had to pull to the car. This very nice, sweet church-going lady was getting ready to get arrested. Thought I was going to have to call her husband and ask if he had bail money ready. And I mean, and if she threw down, I would have to also. That's my girl. So.
So then, how did you? Oh, real quick, actually, I don't know if Tia can speak to this or who can, but Callie saying, Callie, quit trying to make degenerate gambling happen, Jhmeid Billingsley. What does that mean right there? I'm just curious.
I don't know what this prejudice against something that's legal in so many states. I don't know what it is, but I think that there's people who want to have an edge, and some of us knew or know when it's time to hold them and when it's time to fold them. So I don't know what this this prejudice against
Okay.
anything is.
Gotcha. Kaylee, you might have to explain that in the comments a little bit better, or he might have just corrected you. I don't know.
I got
Carrie's
five
over
on
here
it.
saying, Sandy, that sounds like you all rowdy and such in the stands at Tech football.
Okay, let me tell you this. So we were Texas Tech was playing the Longhorns, and that's our own
Big
rivalry.
Yeah.
And this lady said something, and I was like, "Oh, send bail money. Hold my earring."
Right, take the earrings off.
No, ma'am. And
I
then
keep a little Vaseline in my purse just for the occasion. You never know.
you never. But this lady was. I mean, I'm like, "Ma'am, you don't know me. Like I'm nice, cute, little cuddly, but don't be talking."
I'm about to cut you.
Let me write this down. Don't let Sandy and Tia attend any games.
That might be a good thing.
Okay. Yeah.
You already see it. You already
So-
see it.
Jhmeid, did you and Tia meet prior to, like, did y'all know each other, or was it kind of like what Ricardo said, like he noticed her in the comments on the Facebook group not talking, but spitting down, knowledge? Was
Knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, when you're in those sports groups, the worst thing you can be is a lurker, right? Like if you don't say anything, or if you just make generic posts, you just go unnoticed. And so I've actually met a bunch of cool people, just from there. I can think of a dozen people that I know just from Facebook sports groups. So, but Tia just kind of stood out, right? And you just kind of connect. So all those guys you talk to about the games, but so there's 12, 14 people I'm talking to during the game, but there's one person that knows a lot and is very smart alecky. So
My people.
That's not Tia though, right?
No, I don't know. Who
definitely Tia. And so the thing that it kind of came up is like Tia's opinions are so voracious that sometimes you need to tag somebody in. So I would go like, Ricardo, Tia said to me that she thinks this and she thinks that. And so he was like, well, I never thought about it that way. So I was like, well, maybe I shouldn't have called you Ricardo.
Right.
Not helping.
Right, you're not helping. But, that's just how it got started. We just got started talking sports. And then, of course, that sports is just like a allegory for life. But you start off talking sports, and then you start getting to know their kids and their family and their situations. So, next thing you know, we just struck up a genuine friendship. So, Tia and I were friends first, and I was friends with Ricardo, and then Tia and Ricardo were kind of striking up a separate friendship. So, we've been friends, and although, like Ricardo said, we do fuss and fight, we do value each other's opinion. And so we want to run stuff by each other before we say it publicly. And so then it was like, maybe we should run stuff by each other in front of a camera. And I'm like, so
Just to be a force to be reckoned with.
right.
I think.
That should be your name, Tia, on the show, is Forced to be Reckoned
Forced
with.
to be reckoned with.
Well,
Yeah.
that's her name in
Quite
real life.
accurate.
I kind of like that.
Life.
That's her name in real life.
Callie was saying, as far as the degenerate gambling, it's the extra Christmas money as the justification that's killing me.
So
It
I,
too
I
be paid,
believe I understand where she's coming from, because it isn't just the fact that he's a degenerate gambler. It is that he wants to bring everybody else in with him. And
It's working on me, I'll be honest with you. I'm almost there.
He needs a team of degenerate
Oh,
gamblers.
Exactly, Joe.
Yes,
Joe is my spirit.
I'm there. I feel you. We're like
Okay.
this.
You see how it works.
Have any of y'all ever seen Real Husbands of Hollywood?
yes.
Yeah, Kevin Hart.
I remember that.
What was his name? Who's always got a deal? He's always got
Is that Dwayne
Dwayne
Martin's
Martin?
character?
Dwayne Martin.
Dwayne Martin's character. Yes. I have this picture of Dwayne Martin and Jhmeid being like either the best friends in the whole wide world or enemies to the core.
They're always trying to out Julie.
They're always trying to, outside hustle the other.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. I have had some. So of course they didn't build all those buildings in Vegas because people beat them all the time. So when people say, "Oh, I went out there," like 10 people say, "Yeah, I came back with $500," and you're like, "But how did they build all those buildings if everybody comes back with $500?" But really, if you're going to have a good day, it's when 3 different people work the math out a different way and come up with the same answer. That might be the pick. So that's just kind of, I've been trying to get Tia into it because she knows sports. She's a tech leader, so she's pretty good at math. So if I could get her to put some of her brain power that she wastes on shows that I don't like.
So here's how it works. Here's how this is going to work. So Tia, anytime that he needs your input for gambling, you just give him your Venmo, and then you supply the knowledge that he's requested. You're a consultant to the degenerate.
A gambling consultant. I feel like there's
my favorite story about gambling is when I would go to Ellis Island with my uncle to bet on horses. And the reason why is because he would make the bets with his money, give my sister and I the tickets, and if we hit, it was ours to take home, and if we lost it, it was all his. So, Jhmeid, to Sandy's point, you can vend me my money, and I'll tell you all you want.
So, the way this
arrangement would work, and I will realize all of the winnings. So that's perfect.
The way this would work would be a 30-day net. So.
Oh, here we go.
If you win 30 days from the bet, I'll pay you.
Take some notes here.
I will gladly
if I lose
for a hamburger today.
Yeah.
So, guys, you're able to see the intensity of the show. You see how the show works.
Yeah.
You know what's it's like when you look at Jhmeid talking about it, like I feel like there's this intensity and seriousness about what he's talking about right now. He's like, I'm not playing, guys. Really? Like
I am so serious.
Listen to his effect.
He has a spreadsheet.
He has made, I won't put his business out there, but he has made a few coins doing this. So he's not saying it because he knows what he's talking about. And I'm actually becoming
No. Allegedly.
He's in Georgia.
Yeah.
We're in Illinois. I'm in Illinois.
I'm not in Illinois. So allegedly.
He has an entire spreadsheet that he keeps week over week, and he's got this whole methodology that he's tried to explain to
Tia, he makes you the way when you just said that, I had the image of the coupon woman in my head. And she goes to the couponer shows and stuff. There you go, Sandy. Yes, extreme couponers. Imagine Jhmeid has something similar. He's like, writing it all down, and he's like, "Give me another computer over here, guys." And he's running numbers on everything, and he's like, "Okay, y'all be careful because when you owe Jhmeid, jeez." I don't
know. Wait, so okay, this is all fun and stuff, but they want to talk sports. So I want to kind of get I want to get a little piece of how it would kind of work. So I pulled up ESPN.
Kaylee says, "Tia, folks, don't be impressed with that spreadsheet. He makes one for travel clothing." I'm sorry, Joe. Okay. I just had to put that
there. So tomorrow, the Hawks and the Pacers are playing. Yeah. So how do we feel about that game other than we know that we're going for the Hawks? So
I'm guessing the line is going to be Hawks minus 2.5.
Yeah.
Write that down.
What does that mean to me? What does that mean? Hawks minus 2.5.
So that means the Hawks will be favored by 2.5. But they're coming off. It's going to be a back-to-back game, which typically is bad for the team with a back-to-back game. But Nate McMillan used to coach for the Pacers. And every time the Hawks have played the Pacers this year, they have waxed them. So the Hawks won tonight. So they actually don't need the game. So I would actually fade the Hawks, whatever the line is, because I don't think they'll cover. But I bet the line is Hawks more than 2.5. But I think the value would be at 2.5. What is the spread, Joe?
It doesn't say the spread. I'm just looking at ESPN.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It just says tickets as low as $11. So I might go to that game.
Not a very big spread, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So but I don't love NBA game to game gambling because it's so many factors, like how good is the nightlife, how good is the nightlife in the city, how many, who's coming off a back-to-back, is there any personal vendettas on a team and all that kind of
wow.
stuff.
So you break it down. Like if there's
this
personal,
is also why he doesn't bet on college.
Yeah. A couple things to note. To Jhmeid's point. The Pacers actually played tonight too, and they lost. Looks like, I don't know if they won or lost. I think they lost. Did they lose?
They lost. Yes, 104 to 93.
Good. Yeah. Why I'm pointing that out is because there was a kind of tete-a-tete on the sideline that's going to play on ESPN a lot. I caught it just before the show started. That's not good. And also, it was announced early today that the coach for the Pacers is on the proverbial hot seat.
So, he's about to get canned.
Yeah. So you got the killing factor. You got the fact that the Hawks are playing for something. You got the fact that the coach is a dead duck, lame duck, so to speak. So
we're betting on the Hawks, but you don't think they're going to cover the spread. So you're thinking that we should bet on the Hawks just as an overall win, not necessarily to cover the spread. Is that what I'm hearing?
I think so it's the Hawks -5. But again, I think that's a trick line. So in other words, Vegas expects you to look at the Hawks record, which is great, and the Pacers record, which is bad, and bet the Hawks, right? So you kind of had to figure out, who does Vegas want the public to vote? So sometimes you can just vote against the public. Like if 80% of people are voting are betting on one team, bet on the other team, because if Vegas would make the line worse if depending on what the line moves and stuff like that.
Right.
But again,
Vegas is in it to make money.
Oh yeah. They're gonna make money win or lose because the VIG is what you pay every bet you make. So they're gonna make some money on every bet, but they're gonna do it overall.
So on your show, will you be discussing about Vegas odds and all that stuff too, or is that just Jhmeid's part of it when y'all go for a commercial?
Unfortunately, yes, because he has this idea that at some point he's going to turn me into the same degenerate gambler that he is. That's part of his goal. It's not going to work because I don't understand. This is something I do not understand. The Vegas, all of that, no.
Right.
Yet.
Well, see, when I go to Vegas, my husband will go gamble and I'll go invest in clothing. So I'm going to go shopping while I'm in Vegas.
Clothing?
Yes.
Yes. Clothing.
I like that. I think that's the first time I've ever heard that, Sandy.
I got to see Mrs. Williams.
Just like I've invested in this hair color.
Yeah, the 80s are coming back, so it's investing those clothes that were in the 80s that are coming back now. So that's what
bell bottoms are all the rage.
We're gonna talk about a bunch of stuff other than just gambling. We're just gonna talk about stuff.
She's like, yeah, because that's what I signed up for.
I have a question for Tia.
Okay.
Where did you get your love for sports? Because traditionally women are not that into sports, and there's maybe one or two on the sidelines, but you don't really see a lot of females in sports. So can you tell me a little bit about your love?
So I am the oldest of two girls. My dad only had girls, and I was an absolute daddy's girl. And he enjoyed spending time with my sister and me. So, but enjoying spending time with us meant enjoying spending time with us doing the things that he liked to do.
Sounds about right. Sounds about right.
I don't see a problem.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, is a Dogs fan, so we did watch plenty of Dogs football, but yeah, so we spent a lot of time going to games, watching games, listening to games, especially when the Falcons were blacked out, which was most of home games when I was growing up. And so I think I learned about the sport before I fell in love with the sport. So I think I was really in college when I really started to enjoy it. And it's one of those odd things because I live in Atlanta. I went to, Hampton University in Virginia, and you start to feel really homesick, and then everything at home feels great and wonderful. And so that's really when the love started to grow, because I was really homesick for Atlanta.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I learned it before I loved it.
That's awesome.
So, Ricardo, can you give us some insight into what one of your what the episode's going to look like when we go to watch? Well, what are some of the things that you're going to cover? How are y'all going to discuss it, and what can we expect?
What are your segments?
We're going to talk a little bit draft recap.
Get my pen.
Talk about undrafted, free agents that are coming on the roster. What the roster is going to look like in our first episode. You brought up college before. There is a lot of nuance when it comes to that conversation. You have to understand that in the South, there's Jesus, and then there's college football. So
you are talking to a bunch of Texans
in that
here.
order.
Okay, so you understand.
Right.
You have to know what you're talking about. And I appreciate what Jhmeid and Tia had hinted to earlier. What we're going to do is when we share about something, we don't talk about, hey, the game was good. Yeah, that's great, but why did we win the game? Or why did we lose the game? Right. People care about that more than they think they do. It's all in how you say it. You watch the three of us and how we kind of ramble, but if you listen to us, like, yeah, you're laughing about what Jhmeid said earlier, but when you look back later, you're going to say, you know what? Maybe I should do some betting. And that's how we are with everything.
I'm betting on
That's how we will be with everything.
We need a spreadsheet.
Where's DraftKings at? DraftKings?
We try to do a good job of breaking things down in the layman's terms to where you can understand, like, hey, why does it matter in terms of who's tackling and who's punting and whatnot, and what does this mean, and how does that affect the game? We'll try to, break that down in terms of, each part of the game and why that's important, and make it like something simple that you can say, oh, okay, I understand what I'm looking at now.
That's good, because that's what Jamie's going to need, because he's not a sports person at all. He's just not. I mean, it doesn't bother me either.
A cheerleader.
I don't feel judged at all.
I'm okay.
We don't want just sports fanatics. We want to bring in people like Jamie who are like, next time they're talking about sports, I want to have an ace up my sleeve that I'm going to whip out, bam, and they're going to be like, wow.
I like that. Yeah. Feel free to call me Jhmeid. I know they confused you guys.
I did. I'm like, Jamie.
Here's a serious question that I have for y'all, because there's a hotly debated topic that the three of us go through once every season at least, and we all have strong opinions about. I'm going to present that question to you three so that you can give us
last
your.
Night, Tia and Jhmeid, I said I have a question for y'all, and I'm not going to have y'all prep for it. Because Tia was ready. Tia was going to write this down. And
this is the question, Sandy?
This is the question.
Okay. So Sandy and Carrie both have this question. Are y'all ever going to discuss your stance on if college athletes should be paid? And she puts those little laughing emojis on there because she knows how much it gets us going on the show, on our show.
So is yes.
Us too.
So okay, you're going to talk about it. Do you think that they should get paid? So it's a two-part question.
Well,
yes and yes.
Yes. And
see, it's technically a three-part question because we kind of know the ins and outs of the game, and a lot of them are already paid. We're talking about.
They're from Texas and Georgia. They're already getting paid.
We know. We know.
We got some from Texas. You understand?
Right.
Paid on the books, man. Paid on the books.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So, Ricardo, yes and yes to you?
Yes. Oh, most definitely yes.
Jhmeid?
Yes, easy yes and yes.
Yeah.
Joe? Why?
Yes.
Let's just help him.
Yes. And damn it, yes.
And for me, it's yes and heck yes. Sandy, you go.
Hell to the no. And here is why. Here
it comes.
why.
Here it
Are you
comes.
sure you want to
Here it
share this
comes.
now?
Let me
Here we
tell you
go.
this. Okay. So I watch college sports because these kids have ambition and they want to make it to the next level to get that contract, to get paid the big bucks. If you look back at Johnny Manziel, he was selling his stuff illegally. I mean, he became a complete idiot. I mean, what was he doing? Drinking? Just acting a fool. And that's him selling his stuff on the side. I can't imagine how he would have acted had he, been able to sell his stuff and make money. I just feel like you are going to lose the passion for the game, the passion that you have now, what motivates you, what drives you to be scouted if you start getting paid now. Okay, so these athletes now they have nutrition plans. I mean, that you can't get that for free. They have the best cafeteria foods. They have all the clothes that they can get. I mean, in a sense, you're getting paid, and you're also on scholarship. No other kid, any other. Football here is glorified. Basketball, we're top second right now. I mean, number 2, actually number 1 for Tech right now. Well, I don't know anymore, but anyway, whatever. So I'm just saying, I don't feel that these kids are going to have the motivation to play as hard. Why? Because you're already getting paid. You're already making money. I mean, I don't know. That's the way I see it.
Hold on. So the scholarship, the nutrition plan, what is all that worth every year?
I wish I knew. I don't know what the number is.
Let's just throw out a number. Let's just say that per
30,000.
That's worth. I'll say 100,000. Let's say all of that is worth 100,000. How much do they bring in regards to revenue to the school? And then compare that, and then say that they shouldn't get paid. They're the reason. Georgia football, Auburn football is bringing in multiple millions of dollars. You have coaches that are getting paid $7, $8, $9, $10 million, and
just
kids,
coach.
to just coach.
Yeah.
And these kids are putting their body on the line, and most of them will not get that NFL contract, but they are responsible for millions and millions of dollars of revenue that gets paid to the athletic director, that gets paid to the coaches, that gets paid for buildings.
Right.
They shouldn't get paid. Let's say that all of that is $100,000. That's a drop in the bucket, and that means they are already
right. But look how many of them are on this. Look how many of them on the roster.
But and also think about this. I am a professional in my career, and I get paid. Because I get a paycheck, does that rob me of the passion to excel in my career and make it to the next step? Absolutely not.
No, because you're still looking, because you're still trying to go for it. You're still trying to succeed. I mean, you're still putting the effort in.
They can only be in college for 5 years. So they have to do something after college. So they still have something to strive for, to want to be a part of. So even in paying, you're not going to necessarily lose the passion. Those who are going to lose the passion never had it, and paying them is not going to change it.
And Sandy, they're not going to be paid as much as the third shift manager at McDonald's. We're talking about a smaller amount of money than you think.
Third shift.
He was very specific.
What does a third shift make?
I don't want to say. One of my students was like leaving class and solving problems, and I was like, well, I don't know how you're going to leave that field to get into the field that you're studying here. you must be making a lot of money. And when you told me it made my heart melt a little bit. But the key thing, two points for you to consider, Sandy. My sister, that Kalo, or whatever that lady is.
Oh, this one right here.
Yeah. So she had a full scholarship to Duke, right? And she worked at Kinko's. She worked at Kinko's so that because she had a full scholarship. She had
Did you ask her if you could put her business out there?
Oh yeah. Well, man, she's a lawyer now. That's way in the past.
You want her business out there.
So there's no other scholarship that asks you not to work, right? Every other scholarship, you can do what their scholarship requirements and work. The other scholarship requirements are just to do the work. For football or basketball,
not even just not to work, but also dictate your major.
Exactly. And so but for sports athletes who are on scholarship, they have to do their schoolwork and they have their schedules dictated to them. You're going to take this class, you're going to take this class because you have to be at practice. And my son is in school now, he's about to graduate. He's realistic. He doesn't take any morning classes. But because he doesn't wake up to 12. But if you're a scholarship player,
sounds like someone we know over there.
Right. That sounds like Sydney. Sydney only takes classes Tuesdays and Thursdays, so she can have a really long weekend.
Joe's job is from Tuesdays 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. with an hour lunch in there, Monday through Tuesday.
I don't see any problems here. I'm not understanding. I don't understand what we're talking about here.
Like, why you got my business in the street?
check your inbox. I sent my resume and CV.
No. That's just
You're
me.
Hiring?
No.
It's just a special deal.
That's just me. That's my job title. With
your business.
Yeah. Everybody else, that's different.
So, with all that said, Sandy, are you still on your boat?
I wanted to add one more part.
Hold on, Sandy.
Ricardo,
Let's see if Ricardo's
you have to think in terms of. I understand the example, and I think it's a great question, by the way. But you have to understand that's an abnormality. That's not normal. I mean, how many kids are we talking about that's even in that position to dictate their circumstances? You know, we got like maybe 5 to 10 a year out of 900 kids every year. So honestly,
you're saying that are on full scholarship. That's what you're saying.
No. I'm talking about they're all on full scholarship. I'm talking about the kids that make extra income.
But they're not all on full scholarship, though.
That's true, too. But my point is there's only about 5 Johnny Manziels a year. There's only about 5 to 10 guys who can actually dictate. Now, I don't think, we can have that conversation. Don't think that there's agents not already, put
in that little,
but that's a whole nother.
At Tennessee, didn't they have McDonald's bags? They were using McDonald's bags to deliver the money.
Yeah, they still do that. I can tell you different programs exactly what they do.
I agree with you, Sandy, and the other kids who attend college are paying.
Are paying for all this through tuition.
All of this.
No, that should not be paid
generating revenue for the college.
You're talking about the University of Georgia. I give you an example. You go up to the University of Georgia on a fall Saturday. I mean, you'd have to see it to understand it. You'd have to go to a college town to understand it. You walk down the street. Yeah, if you walk, you need college town, you'll get it. You walk down the street.
We're college town too, Ricardo.
Oh, you are? You'll get it. You're
Huge
walking down the street. The game's at 12. So by 9 a.m., people are already drunk. Go Dogs! You don't know them, they don't know you.
Those are my people.
And the reason why there's so much this football program is generating the revenue for this town, for this side of the state. I mean, the entire state, millions and millions of dollars. And that's why they put so much money in the boosting program, making sure this kid comes there and making sure the facilities is top notch because all of that matters. And that's because they want this kid to be able to produce. If this kid doesn't produce, it doesn't really matter about, he'll next guy up.
The biggest myth is there's a 4-year scholarship. Their scholarships are year to year. So every year they can say, Ricardo, about your scholarship.
Oh,
Happens all the time.
But think about it. If there was ever evidence that college athletes should be paid, the pandemic is an excellent reason, because when basketball shut down, there was no March Madness. When there was a threat that there wasn't going to be football, and even when we had reduced attendance at games, colleges made financial decisions because of the reduction of revenue. So the pandemic is an excellent study as to why college athletes should get paid, because they are keeping colleges in the black. So if the colleges are depending on that revenue just to operate and provide services to lower sports that aren't making money, providing services to the chemistry hall, the physics hall, the math, then why shouldn't the athletes get paid for keeping the lights on campus?
Also, last little point. I'm sorry, just so we can.
Last point. This is going to be the last point, because we can continue on, and we got to end, and people need to sleep and do it. Yeah. So
the elephant in the room is honestly if you do not pay these kids, somebody in the NFL or some other pro league will say, well, guess what? Why don't we just do like tennis and soccer and pay 18-year-olds in a G League like they do in the NBA, and you won't have college kids playing. So that's really the other thing.
Yeah,
it's like, okay, well, you either let them kind of do their thing now, grease the wheel now, or somebody's going to smarten up and say, let's just start another USFL.
It's shocking that the NFL hasn't done that. It is shocking.
Well, if they haven't, I guarantee you. I talk to agents all the time.
Yeah, I agree.
I love talking about this every time we get a chance to, because Sandy digs her heels in more, and then we just dig in our heels in more, and it comes to this, which is why Carrie was like, I'm just going to drop this.
Carrie,
Thank you, Carrie.
And we're still friends. That's we're still friends.
Because
some of us are wrong in our thinking. We still love them.
if I'm right, which I usually am.
I almost assumed that you were right, Sandy. And I'm sorry. I would love to have a sisterhood moment with you, but
we had one yesterday, Tia. You can't have back to back. We had one yesterday. We were good.
That's good.
All right, so listen up. I feel like it's so easy to talk to you three. It's so easy to just mesh, and once the gears get going, it's easy to just kind of continue on. But as to all things, there is an end, but not a long end. So with that in mind, we are going to give you three the chance to stay on the screen and tell everyone what the name of the show is, just a little blurb about what it's about, where they can find you, and when they can find you. So with that being said, you three have the screen while Joe, Sandy, and myself will exit for just a couple seconds, for a little bit here.
Oh, wow.
Thank you for letting us come on your show. And for those who are watching, thank you for watching this cool show. We want you to watch our show as well. First of all, visit our Facebook page. It's We Dat Sports Atlanta. Our Instagram page is We Dat Sports Atlanta. Our Twitter page is We Dat Sports Atlanta. Our website is WeDatSports.com. And so we are going to debut next Friday. So we're excited. We're excited to get launched. And if you enjoy some of the back and forth here, just think about having even more of that. So we're a great crew, and we want you to join us, so you can join in on the comments and eventually join the show if you want to.
That's all. Hi, Mom.
Well said.
Well done.
I love that. Hi, Mom.
That was, yeah.
You look like little Ricky. You look just like little Ricky when you.
If my mother was up, like, baby, what you doing up? Go to bed.
Well, guys, it's been great having you on the show tonight. I'm so glad that we get to debut tonight and that we can all come and watch you next Friday. If you check the comments out, I put the link to their Facebook page on there. So please do us a favor. Go hop over there as soon as we're done here and hit the like button and pay attention for them and share them with anyone in your friends or family circles who love sports, right? So real quick, I do want to say, Joanne had mentioned earlier, okay, guys, I sent my son to college and I saw what we were paying for something he didn't utilize. And yes, football generates money, but it's not an answer to world peace. If anything, it creates more chaos. Carrie says, I mean, I may not be right, but I'm not wrong. CPJ says, so excited. Can't wait to join your page and subscribe to all notifications so your lives alert me. Sorry, I was like, wait, I'm just registering right in my head. So why don't y'all go hang out in the green room? We'll be back as soon as the show's over and get to chat a little bit more, okay?
See you in just a minute, guys.
you.
Thank y'all so much.
See y'all. Thanks for coming on.
Oh, my bad.
Someone forgot.
Someone was supposed to. Whose job was that?
Y'all know.
You had one job, Sandy.
See, this is what happens when you pay people. They don't do their job correctly.
Oh, that was a great show, guys. I'm missing it. I can't wait till we come back for reals, though.
Yeah. So when is that? Because
when are we coming back?
I should probably put that on my calendar sometime.
It might be nice, guys. So, everyone, we will be coming back on Monday, May 31st for season 3 of the Social Undistancing Show. Season 3.
May
That's
31st.
crazy. 3. And if y'all didn't realize it, while we were on hiatus, we actually sort of celebrated our 1-year anniversary. And so we've been on broadcasting for over 1 year now.
That's crazy.
That is crazy when you say that.
Yeah.
But when you said season 3, I'm like, we've been on for 3 years.
One of the other benefits to not being holden to a broadcast and not having a boss, we can make up seasons however long we want to. So
right.
I feel like we have a boss.
I'd think so too. He gets kind of bossy at times.
He gets kind of bossy. Bossy. That's his ringtone.
And he's like, don't let me drop the EP.
And then the SPM comes in and the SPS.
All I need is you can drop all those letters down and just put HMIC. That's all I need right now, okay?
Head
Mexican in charge.
Oh. I
thought you meant microphone. Okay.
Or mouse. I was gonna say mouse.
Mouse. Head Meeson.
So listen up, everyone. We will be back Monday, May 31st at 9 p.m. for season 3 of the Social and Distancing Show. I'll be back with Sandy and Joe here. So let us know something in the comments, either here or on the page, or just message any of us. But let us know if there's something that you'd like to see for season 3. We've kind of got some things we're talking about, but we'd like to hear if you have anything you want to see or hear us do. Okay. And outside of that, do you two have anything else to say? Sandy, you got a show coming up tomorrow, actually.
Yeah, I'll be on tomorrow. 9.
If you haven't, let me just tell you real quick. Her shows on Thursday nights have been really fun. So if you weren't watching it before on Saturday mornings, go watch it.
Joe has not hit me on the replay.
Hold on. You have got to watch. I'm sorry, Sandy. I have got to tell everyone. If you haven't watched Sandy's episode or Sandy Talk sheet from last Thursday, go watch it as soon as you possibly can. It's in the top 2 spots for best episode ever.
I heard there were some shenanigans. There's no
shenanigans.
I heard there were some shenanigans. That's why I had heard.
All right, Sandy. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
No. Y'all come on tomorrow. Josh and Trey are going to be my guest, and we are going to be talking about. Well, just tune in. Y'all know what we're talking about. You got to tune in.
You got to tune in to watch. Joe, can we watch you anywhere in the meantime?
Probably on my stories on Instagram. That's the best place to catch up with me. So
Joe's been busy.
I've been
He really
so
has
busy.
been.
Joe's
y'all.
been shooting
So
people
busy.
left and right.
What, Joanne? Is my hair? I think.
So she probably catching the replay. All right, everyone. Well,
Please, girl.
we love you all. Have a great night and be on the lookout for us here soon. And as usual,
Remember to wash your face, mask, and ask.
for at least 20 seconds.
You filthy animals.
Good night,
everyone.
everybody.
Love y'all.
Peace.
Oh, that's the wrong outro, isn't it? No.
It's the social undistancing show. How did you not know? How did you not know? It's the social undistancing show. How did you not know? How did you not know? It's the social undistancing show. How did you not know? How did you not know? It's the social undistancing show. How did you not know? How did you not know?